Search for Hurt, brought to you by Rucksack. Move with meaning. Oh, mate, it's good to catch up outside.
Yeah, it's a nice sunshine.
Change. Get some endurance in those legs.
Just like the kids that race the sun.
Oh, good old race the sun.
Man,
how was that?
Insane. We didn't make it.
Yeah.
We were probably 20 Ks out from making it the full 3:45, but considering what happened throughout the event, they did really, really well. So
that's good.
Danzy's Achilles was a problem, so they were kind of down to 5.5 people off the get-go, which, you know, with that kind of workload, threw a bit of a spanner in the works. And then our two super subs who we thought were going to do really well in the trail section got lost. Which
as you do.
Which added a lot of Ks on their legs, but added probably 40 to 60 minutes of time onto our overall time. And it meant that we just had to start running at a like 3 to 3:50 pace, but we just decimated the team as a result. So everybody started getting injuries and getting hobbled and spending more time in the back of the car than on the road. And as a result, we ended up, sun rose, we were about 20 Ks out of Tenterfield.
Oh, so close yet so far. So what's on next?
Heading down to Melbourne for Hyrox. I'm really interested in this one because it's Pete and Sammy's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So I want to see how the young'uns stick it to the oldies.
Yeah, well, it'll be good for Sammy. Hopefully she can shine and show them what it's all about.
Yep, it's her event to lose that one, I reckon.
It'll be good to see them competing as individuals.
Yeah, mate, I'm interested to see how they go.
We're here at Hyrox, the fitness race for everybody. Our Search4Hurt team are going to have a crack at this 8-kilometre, 8-station course. Let's see how they do.
Hyrox, I love this event. So we're getting down to Melbourne, we're pumped, we're ready to go, high energy.
I'm definitely excited. I'm nervous, but you know, I want to perform well and I feel like this is kind of my event.
My lead up to Hyrox was amazing. I had never felt fitter, so my training was on point and I was like feeling amazing leading up to it.
So Hyrox is the World Series of Fitness Racing. It's a blend of endurance and functional fitness. It comprises 8 1-kilometre runs, and in between each 1-kilometre run there is a functional fitness workout.
Coming into the last event, I was really hoping it was something where I'm not running. The Hyrox, we're running.
The day of and even before we even got there, I got really crook. So sinus and chest infection.
But in true Laura spirit, she was going to take it on anyway and see how she went. In the little dome when you start for Hyrox, they put you in there. You're standing around there with all the other girls. The energy is definitely high. I didn't want to come out too fast. I was very happy kind of to let the front girls lead.
Sammy coming in, she's our first athlete. It's about 10 already up there.
Coming into the ski erg, I just didn't let what the girls were doing beside me dictate what I was doing.
So Sammy's here about 400 metres through a ski. She's holding about a 2:05 pace.
When I get sinus, it goes straight to my chest and I actually have asthma. I hadn't been that sick in a long time and I even thought about, like, do I pull out, what do I do? But it's the whole Search4Hurt, right?
It's a 12.5 metre down and back, so they're going to do that twice. Here comes Laura. Laura struggling under the weight of this sled here.
When you're training and everything's going right and you know how strong and fit you feel, when something like your health's impacted, it's a real head mess. Like I could just feel my chest just squeezing, like it was like I couldn't get enough air.
I feel pretty good. The calf's definitely holding up. I can feel it, but it's just, the more that I get warm, the less it hurts.
Sammy's picked up a position, and I'm expecting Sammy to slowly reel this race in as it goes.
Sammy held a great pace from the start, and I was just at Worlds not that long ago and watched them how they did it, and she's got great potential to continue in the sport.
You know, coming into the sled, I thought that was going to be my hardest one.
I know in this event, it's actually the back half which is more important.
I had been given some advice to not gas yourself on the sled. They say that the race starts after the sled.
So you can't get comfortable in there. You got to keep going, keep pushing.
Laura's off the hydration station as the girls are coming into their burpee broad jumps here.
I was literally having an asthma attack. When that happens, you panic. And I'm just like, you just need to control it. You need to bring it back in. Where I guess with the burpees, I didn't really do that. I just did my normal rhythm.
Laura's coming in, sticking with Alice Evans. So Laura doing very well here. Sammy just about to finish.
My plan was just to try and pull back. Like I had to pull back to be able to keep going. Once I could actually breathe again, and all I could do was walk until I could get some oxygen, because I was literally like, I just couldn't breathe.
Sammy pulling about a 205 average on the rower here. So Sammy about to pick up her kettlebells, 24 kilos.
And I felt good knowing I was over halfway through the race, had a chance to recover, and I was just going to kind of, finish it off.
Sammy's done that farmer's carry all in one. Didn't drop him at all.
I was enjoying it. I knew I was on the last leg. I had an idea at where I was with my time. I knew that I was under my goal. So I just I was like, I just wanted to enjoy it, soak it in for the last little bit, and know that I could run over that finish line.
The lunges, I just went in there, chucked it on. I kind of went into it and I was like, I'm going to do this without stopping, and that's what I did. I got through the whole thing and did it without stopping, no dramas.
The cameras are all over the place. I've got Sammy just finishing off her wall balls here.
But crossing the line and feeling as well as I did, and then looking up to the screen and seeing 113. 113! My goal was 115! I was just over the moon.
The wall balls were a nightmare. Wall balls are actually above your head, so straight away everything here is like pulled in, and I literally had to stop, and I was leaning on the ball and walking around, and like I just couldn't breathe. It was like you've got people cheering you on and waiting for you to cross the line. That whole event to me was just gutting, because going into it I was in such good form, and then to be hit with an illness, it was just heartbreaking.
My Achilles is shot.
I give it all that I got will never stop. I give it all, straight to the top, will never stop. I give it all.
I haven't been able to run, so I've got probably 2 whole rolls of tape on it at the moment and ready to roll.
2, 1, and they're off.
My strategy for this one is just to stay nice and consistent. Hold my runs at a nice pace and be a little more conservative when it comes to the exercises themselves.
See today coming in first position.
It didn't feel that quick, but the first K was a 3:25, I believe. I actually stuffed up my strategy in Nice. I went a little too hard on the station, so I actually wanted to flip it around this time.
I would be happy to hit the hour mark. This time I'm coming into it, I can't run. I know before I start that this is not going to be a great day for me.
Lockie coming in about 8th position in his heat. Lockie, how's the running feeling? Little rough?
Hopefully it warms up. No rest. For the wicked I'm bad and I'm blessed. Put it to the test. For the rest.
It's got about 160 to pull, and then Pete's going to be off, hopefully in first position. Lockie away. Lockie's made up some ground on that erg. This is nice.
Coming into Hyrox, my training has consisted of erg machines. I've been able to ski, I've been able to row, I've been able to do wall balls. I haven't been able to do much else.
On the sleds are a big determining factor, so making sure you're having those regular breaks early in the sled so you're not overkilling yourself and leaving enough in the back end to really kind of bring it home.
When I did a Hyrox previously, for me the runs were my recovery. At no point was I feeling comfortable on the run. And what that meant is when I got to the stations, I hadn't had that chance to recover and they were a struggle from the start.
So Lockie's still looking pretty solid in this race. Lockie, and look at the muscles on Danzy's back. He's a savage. Lockie struggling on the sled pull down there, more than I would have expected him to. Lockie just saying that the running is so compromised that normally he'd come out of the run and he'd feel fresh for the implement, whereas now he's cooked by the time he gets in here, making this much harder than it should be.
I've seen it a lot of times where people start off strong in a Hyrox and they end up fatiguing later on. It's really hard at this point in the event to keep your heart rate down and just to settle. You can't win it in the first, 2-3 Ks, but you can sure as hell lose it.
The cool thing about Hyrox is they keep them to a very strict movement standard. So you can see Pete here, he will jump, then his hands have to come down directly at his feet go backwards. So you can't game the system with your burpees. You have to do all 80 metres of these bad boys.
In a Hyrox, if you look at anyone that looks at strategy, you don't make up any time on the row erg or the ski erg. People will lose the race on the row and the ski by going too hard. You're never going to win the race because you're only going to make up a few seconds.
Pete's just finished his burpee broad jumps. Lockie's just come in, so whatever the time it takes for them to do this station, that's about the lead that Pete has.
So when we think about the Search4Hurt athletes, what we've seen is they've got a really well-rounded approach to their training, and so they've really excelled at Hyrox, and we expect great things from them, certainly this year and beyond.
Pete opting for a damper setting of 10 once again. So holding about a 2-minute pace, 2:05. Nice, slow pulls, high damper setting.
This is also a point of the race where you can see where everyone's at. And I was 2-3 minutes in my row, I still can't see Lockie. I knew something was up.
Cause we are the outlaws.
Lockie looking weary, but pulling a fast row.
I probably pushed the row a little bit harder than I normally would have.
So about 15 seconds in a 500 metre split on Pete. Pete was pulling about a 2:05 here. So Lockie, even though he's looking like he's in a bit of pain, his ergs are a little bit quicker than Petey's. Here comes Pete. He's going to pick up 2 of these 32 kilo kettlebells and he's going to take them in for his 200 metre carry. Pete looking good here, sticking with this athlete in front of him. Might even round him up. Looking very burdened under the weight of those kettlebells. He's going to get out for his run. Here comes Lockie, he's going to pick up 2 of these 32s. And I'll be surprised if he drops them. Pete had to put it down once. We've seen Lockie get more and more compromised as this season has gone on. Lockie's just done this farmer's carry completely unbroken.
Lunges suck. Get the sandbag on the back and you're just trying to rep it out. You can't drop the sandbag at any point, and it's heavy. It's 30 kilos, which feels like 50.
Peter just at the halfway point, so 100 metres, 30 kilos on your back. Knees got to touch the ground. These are brutal, man.
Coming into the wall balls, last station, you can see the finish line. It's so close, but it's so far.
One thing I have been able to do is I can do wall balls. So I think people fear the wall balls because by that time they're pretty gassed. I think I can make up time on a lot of people.
But this part of the race, you start to get no reps. As you can see, each athlete has a judge. So if you get these no reps at this point, it can be really mentally breaking. 100, let's go, Pete. Let's go.
Finish it off, they tell you to sprint and you just go across the line, and it is a great feeling finishing a Hyrox. You just kind of stumble up and you know you're done.
Matches his Sydney time last year.
It's a bit off my PB, I got a 104 involvement last year, but yeah, I was really hurting. Like that was the pace much better.
Finishing strong here.
Seeing Pete and Danzy across the line, literally sprawled on the floor.
Look, 110, I'm not going to say I'm happy with it. For me, I do personally think I can get to the hour mark. Both Pete and I did Hyrox in Sydney last year and we had an identical time.
Lachlan Danzy, again, he's an idiot. Danzy, he can barely walk, and then he rocks up and he smashes Hyrox. It's just like, seriously, man.
It wasn't a good race for me, but I got it done.
I was actually really surprised at how well I felt running around. The little cherry on the cake is just last week found out that I've actually qualified for Worlds.
Where do you think overall you are?
Look, overall for me, this season of Search4Hurt has not gone to plan. I felt great when we did Hurt Camp. I felt really good. And, you know, the last 10 years I haven't had niggles, I haven't had injuries like this. When I've had injuries, but they've gone away. And this season, they just haven't gone away. I've just got a couple of injuries that are just holding on and just staying there. And it's frustrating for me because I want to do things. I know what I can do. I know what I can deliver. And I haven't been able to do that. Obviously, you know, it happens that you get the shot, you get, you know, it's like Eminem, you get your one shot, and you know, you got to seize it. And unfortunately for me, it just hasn't happened. Just one of those things. There's a lot of frustration at the moment that my body just isn't happy with me right now. And it's not that I'm 10 years older, it's not that, it's just a couple of little things, and I just haven't had the chance to get them rehabbed and recovered correctly. I'm at the point now where I do have to listen to the body. It's telling me, don't run for a while. You just, you know.